Over to Celtic, Pete. After missing out on Matthias Kvitsgarden in the winter window, someone they've been linked with now for about a year, do you expect him to be the number one target in the summer, considering they lost their main number 9 this winter?
Yeah, he will be somebody that'll be firmly on the radar. He's been on the radar for the last couple of transfer windows. They looked at him in the summer window, weren't able to get a deal done. Obviously, the transfer deadline's just passed as well, and Celtic were not able to bring in Kvitsgarden on this occasion either. So they failed to recruit a striker, which obviously Brendan Rodgers ideally wanted to do to replace Kyogo. I'm sure that's a disappointment to Rodgers, but obviously they've brought back Jota, who obviously will strengthen their attacking options for the rest of the season. And obviously they got 6 goals the other night against Dundee, so it's not like they're lacking goals from other players in the squad as well. But I'm sure it's something that Brendan Rodgers will be determined to get the backing from the club in the summer to get a big name striker signing in the building, because Kyogo was such a key player for Celtic. His goals, his assists, his movement up front as well. He was such an unselfish player, so definitely going to need somebody to replace him long term. Kvitsgarden, obviously Bromby are desperate not to lose him. They've tried to price him out of a move now in the last couple of transfer windows, talking around £13 million from, which was too rich for Celtic in the summer and also in the January window. But yeah, I'm sure Celtic's recruitment team will be working hard now to see if the right man is available in the summer transfer window that they feel can come in and strengthen the team as well. But it's also a great opportunity for Adam Ida now. With Kyogo gone, it looks like he will be playing regularly. He was on the score sheet again in midweek, so he'll be hoping he can have a good run in the side and stay fit, and he'll be hoping that he can fill the boots of Kyogo for Brendan Rodgers' side. But yeah, look, Celtic, they've got the title wrapped up, they've got the League Cup in the bag. It's just a matter now of going into this Bayern Munich game in the Champions League and doing their best. Not many people expect them to get through in that tie, but look, it's been a good season for Celtic so far. They're running away with this Scottish Premier League title as well, and they'll be aiming for another treble if they can by winning the Scottish Cup as well come May. So look, Brendan Rodgers, I think he's had a great season so far, but he'll be looking to build on it, and next season a striker will be the key priority signing.
And Paul, do you think Brendan Rodgers will feel aggrieved by the Celtic board, having reached the Champions League knockout stages for the first time in over a decade, and actually then making a profit in the January transfer window? Is this the kind of thing that may actually push Brendan Rodgers out the door at Celtic long term?
Yeah, I think he'll be aggrieved. I do. I think I saw him in his press conference after the window closed, and you could tell. I mean, I'm not going to quote him word for word. I can't remember the exact words he used, but I think that one of the journalists put to him, "Have you come out of this window stronger than you went into the window? Are you pleased with the window?" And it was something along the lines of, "Listen, we brought a couple of really good players to the club. We're happy with what we brought to the club, but yes, we've lost a lot of talent." And he went on to say the players that he'd lost. And I think, looking at his body language and looking at him, he's gotten to the knockout stages of the Champions League. They've got the money's coming in for that. They've got a huge game against Bayern Munich coming in. A manager's not going to want to see his squad being taken apart without being guaranteed some players coming in. Listen, if I was Brendan Rodgers, I'd be disappointed with a lack of incomings that I've got, unless there's a strategy in place where, as we know, we all go on about it, but it didn't seem that difficult a window this time. January is a difficult window, etc. Unless they've had that conversation in-house and gone, look, we can't really get what we want in January. Well, let's get by with what we've got now. Basically, let's be honest, between these 4 walls, we've won the league. We've got the Scottish Cup domestically. How far realistically are we going to go in the Champions League? Be realistic about it. Let's not go and waste however 10, 15, 20 million, whatever you're going to waste in January now on players that we don't necessarily want. The players that we want to get aren't necessarily available. Maybe Brendan Rodgers didn't think that they pushed hard enough to get certain players. I don't think they came out the window stronger than they went into it, would be my answer to that journalist. And I think Brendan Rodgers will be disappointed with the way that they are, unless it's, like I say, there's been a conversation and it's structured in a certain way where, right, we're going to use this Champions League money constructively in the summer, and we're going to do a rebuild, and we're going to strengthen and kick on again, because the league domestically, we're okay at the moment. We're pretty settled. So if that conversation's gone on, you can see it. They might not be able to get the players they want in January, but I think Brendan Rodgers was a little bit disheartened with the transfer activity, I'll be honest.